Hello, this is Terry Fletcher with All Things Trail. There seems to be a lot of excitement about hiking all 25 state parks this year. I did it in 2020 with the COVID thing going on. There's about 25 state parks. Took me about 304 miles of hiking. I think it was like 198 total trails that I did. It took me about 36 days total because I drove a lot. I think I drove like 6,000 miles. It's about 25,000 foot of elevation. It took me about 95 hours to complete, so that means it was about 4 hours and 8 minutes per park. I averaged about 19 minutes a mile, and the average temperature for me was about 74 degrees. I'm going to give you the spreadsheet that I created, and then I'm going to work through some of the information that you're going to need to change, but it'll be out on my website. You can change it. It gives you a really good idea of what you need to do to complete all the parks. There's only a couple things you really need to change, and it's the miles from your location to the park. So that gives you a good idea of how many hours it's going to take you and how many miles it's going to take you to get there. So you'll need two things. Well, actually, you'll need three things. You'll need the spreadsheet. You'll need the DNR website, and I will provide that link. And you also need MapQuest. That's how I did it. There's other ways to do it, but MapQuest was easiest for me because I have an account. So we're going to go to the DNR website right now. And here it is. You can just type it in Google. It's the Indiana DNR. Comes up. It's a great website. Off to the left-hand side, it says places to go. So places to go, you go down state parks and reservoirs. It brings up a page that's parks and lakes. It's about everything you need to know about any park. So we're going to do Brown County just as an example. Brown County, has two gates, West Gate and North Gate. Has lots of information. If you want the PDF map, you can get it here under Maps, Property Map. You can go to there. That's the property map. But what I needed for my purposes of figuring out how far it is to the park from your location is I just grabbed the GPS coordinates. You can do that, or you can grab the the address or the town. But I'm just going to grab the GPS coordinates. I'm going to do a copy. Left control C, do a copy. I'm going to go to MapQuest. Okay. I'm going to bring up MapQuest. If you notice this green button right here, I'm going to click on it. It's going to say where are you starting and where are you going. So my starting point is my home address. Where am I going? I'm going to do a Control V, which is I'm going to paste that GPS coordinate in the where am I going. And I'm going to get directions, and it tells me it's 80 miles, and it's an hour 21 minutes. So if I go back to the spreadsheet, this is what I would have. Distance to, I think I used actually the town of Nashville for my distance. But you do that for every park. That way you get a really, really good idea of the distance to the park from your location, and it has the estimated time to drive. And if you look down below, I think this number is actually the total number of miles that I had to drive times 2. So it's about 6,500 miles that I drove. Okay, so you would have to do that for every park, and that'll take you 20-30 minutes. Talk about is the number of trails per park and the number of miles. So what I did is I created a worksheet down below for Brown County. If you look at Brown County had 12 trails. You have trail number 1 through 10, then you had 2 more. So I said it's 12, and it's the mileage. So there was like 19.35 miles. What I did was I took these numbers, did a Control C, went back to the master, went to trails, did a Control V, I did a paste special, and I did a paste link for that park. So if I would go back into that worksheet and change any of these numbers, it would come up over here. So if the number is different for you, you can change it. It's not a big deal for me. So, but that's another thing you can change. I wanted to know how many hours it was going to take me based upon the number of miles per park. So I said, 20-minute miles versus 30-minute miles. Like for Brown County, it's going to take me, about 6.5 hours at 20-minute miles, or 30-minute miles, it's going to take me, 9.5 hours. That's how I came up with all of the hours that I spent or had to spend inside each of the parks. You don't have to change that. That's all there. I noticed on some of the Facebook groups, people are doing challenge hikes. I wonder what they were. So I went to the website, DNR website, kind of looked them up. And they are under Healthy Parks, Healthy People. You scroll down through there, it gives you an idea of the hiking challenges that there are. And I wanted to add those to the spreadsheet. I also included the number of acres per park. I got that from the PDF. When it was established, the city, the county, I think I had to go to Google to get the county. But that's really about it. That's all the information. And I'm going to give it to you. Hopefully you'll change the distance. That will give you a really good idea through the year on how many miles you're going to have to travel to get to each park, and how many hours, if you do every trail, that you're going to spend. So enjoy it. That's pretty much it.